Hello and welcome to Friday Night Magic here on StephenPlays. Last week we finished up Eldritch Moon, which means it's time to move into another set, Kaladesh. Now, since I finished up Eldritch Moon, they've actually just released Aether Revolt, which is a part of the Kaladesh block. Seems like it'll be fun, but first we have to get through Kaladesh. I've actually been looking forward to this set because a lot of you guys have been telling me that it's very aggressive, and after all of the control that we had to do in Eldritch Moon, I'm looking to stretch my red muscles. So let's see, Kaladesh. Complete the Kaladesh story or buy Kaladesh boosters from the store to unlock new cards for your starter box and new archetypes in the deck wizard. So, it looks like we're starting with, God, what's that? What's the Kiflambi praised people? The Scientologist parody in GTA 5? That's what it looks like this guy's wearing. Some sort of elf guy. You also notice at the top it says reconnect to server. So it just so happens that I chose to record these episodes when the Magic Duels server was completely offline. They're experiencing some weird downtime. But it shouldn't affect the story mode at all, so we should be okay. Let's jump in and see what this entails. Among the luminaries of the fair is Saheeli Rai, one of Kaladesh's brightest inventors. She proudly displays her craft before an adoring crowd in a quicksmithing match, a duel in which two inventors build and battle with their creations. So Pokemon. It's Pokemon. The whole, universe and lore surrounding Kaladesh actually seems really, really awesome. It definitely has some, Indian vibes, but then also you've got, there's a huge focus on artifacts, and there's actually a few new card types which are really exciting, and I'm really excited to jump in and see, well, for one, vehicles. Hopefully they'll be in this match. Saheeli versus Elvish Lifecrafter. Also, we have a brand new board for Kaladesh, which is nice. You play first. Alright, so Bonded Construct, which costs 1. It's a 2/1 artifact creature. It can't attack alone. So doing 2 for 1 is pretty great, but at the cost of not being able to attack alone. We've got 3. There's only 3 of these in our deck. They're, in Magic Duels, you can't have more than 3 uncommons. So we have all 3 of them. Inventor's Apprentice, 1/2 Human Artificer. Inventor's Apprentice gets +1/+1 as long as you control an artifact. Well, that should be pretty easy to do because we have an artifact. That's pretty sweet. That means that we can bring all of these guys out as 2/3s for 1. That is awesome. Chief of the Foundry. It's a 3 cost. Other artifact creatures you control get +1/+1. That's not bad either. Girapur Gearcrafter, Human Artificer, 2/1. When Girapur Gearcrafter enters the battlefield, put a 1/1 colorless Thopter artifact creature token with flying onto the battlefield. Okay, so it just makes a Thopter. And then Inventor's Goggles. A equipped creature gets +1/+2. Whenever an Artificer enters the battlefield under your control, you may attach Inventor's Goggles to it. This is awesome. This is a cool set. There's only one problem, and that's I don't have any land at all. Not a one. Now, the cool thing is, we could do a lot with 1 land. A lot. But we play first, which means we're not going to draw. And even though this hand is honestly really astoundingly good, I would be worried. I would be really worried. So I'm actually going to draw a new hand. There's some land. 3 land, in fact. And it looks like some of the cards we're going to be playing is blue. So I'm glad I drew, because if I would have drawn an island as my first land, that would have been kind of upsetting. Alright, so Inventor's Apprentice again. We've got a Thopter Engineer, 1/3 Human Artificer. When Thopter Engineer enters the battlefield, put a 1/1 colorless Thopter artifact creature token with flying onto the battlefield. Artifact creatures you control have haste. It's pretty nice. A Reclusive Artificer. This creature has haste. It's a 2/3. When Reclusive Artificer enters the battlefield, you may have it deal damage to target creature equal to the number of artifacts you control. So, a very heavy artifact deck. Inventors... or deck? I meant to say set. Set. Inventor's Goggles, once again, we've already seen them. This is more than doable. We've got 3 land. We have enough mana to play almost every card in our hand. I think this will work. So, let's keep this hand. This enters the battlefield tapped unless you already control something. If we get out a mountain, then we can go ahead and play the Inventor's Apprentice. So that seems like a pretty good move. We can do this, put this in. Next turn, we can put in the artifact, and then that'll boost up our apprentice, so when he's done with Summoning Sickness, he's swinging for 2. Okay. So he's not playing anything because he entered, or he threw in a tapped land. Vehicles. I knew that this day would come. Don't show again. Now, I read up on the set before I jumped into this because I knew that there were a lot of new mechanics. So, one of the big new mechanics is vehicles. And how this works, at least my understanding of it, is you play the vehicle when it's an artifact. It's a regular artifact, but you can crew a vehicle, and then the vehicle turns into an artifact creature until the end of turn. So we would play this Sky Skiff. It's a normal artifact. It's not a creature. But if we crew it, and you can see there, it says tap any number of creatures you control with total power 1 or more, this vehicle becomes an artifact creature until end of turn. Then we can use it as a creature. It's pretty neat. And some of the bigger ones get, from what I understand, pretty crazy. So now this won't come in taps, so now we have access to all of our mana types. It's saying to go ahead and play the Sky Skiff, which is a good... I mean, that's a good... Wait, is this... Yeah, as long as you control an artifact. If we put this in, that would be an artifact, and then that would already be on the battlefield, and we would be able to get the bonus. So that would work too. What do the goggles do? Equipped creature gets +1/+2. Whenever an artificer enters the battlefield under your control, you may attach Inventor's Goggles to it. Oh, I see. Actually, we probably should have played this first. For whatever reason, I was thinking that this was something else. Darn, we should have played the goggles first, because then when I brought the Artificer in, it would have been, whatever. At least now I can attack with it, so maybe I did alright. I'm going to play the Sky Skiff, I think. I think it's fine. So that comes in, I'll get the bonus from that. There's not going to be a whole lot of thinking, in my opinion, because this is obviously very aggressive, which is so different from Eldritch Moon. Now, you'll notice that it does have the Summoning Sick Swirl. Now, currently, it's not a creature. It's just an artifact. But it does have the Summoning Sick Swirl, because if I turned it into a creature, which I could, it would be Summoning Sick, which would do me no good, so I want to avoid that. Instead, we'll move to the attack step. I do have the bonus right now, which is nice. So I'm going to go ahead and swing. Bada bing, bada boom. Cool. So do 2 damage. I can already start to see, like, all of this stuff interacts with each other, so I'm going to have to really pay attention to make sure I play the cards in the right order so I get all of the, bonuses from them. Even more land. Enters the battlefield tapped. Well, I don't want that right now. Instead, let's put the island in. So we have a few options here. We can play the Thopter Engineer. When it enters the battlefield, we get a Thopter, and artifact creatures you control have haste. If we put this in, we could equip it, for one, to our 2/3, while they still don't have anything to attack with. I know it's telling me to play Thopter Engineer, and we would get a Thopter, but I kind of like the idea of just swinging. I gotta really wrap my head around vehicles, though, because I can do extra damage with those. Like, if I get my Thopter in, I could crew the Thopter to the vehicle, and then I could actually swing for more. Okay. I'll get the hang of this. So let's put this in. When it enters the battlefield, I create a Thopter. So the Thopter is made. I'm still in main. And what I can do now is I can go here and I can crew this, tap any number of creatures you control with total power 1 or more, and then this vehicle becomes an artifact creature until end of turn. So I'll do that. And I can crew whatever I want. I can actually crew this person because they're summoning sick anyway, and they couldn't attack. So I might as well crew them. So let's crew them, and that will be the crew. So then that thing becomes a creature, basically comes to life. And then we'll continue to the attack step, and I get to swing for 5 this turn. Pretty happy about that. Cool. Confirm attack. It didn't want me to swing with the 1/1, but, I mean, how much damage are they going to do? How much are they going to do? It's not going to be much. Alright, so now my turn ends, which means the artifact creature is no longer crewed and goes back to being an artifact again. During their main, they finally play in something. Oh, they're playing themselves. High Spire Artisan, which is a 0/3 reach with Fabricate, which is another new mechanic. When this creature enters the battlefield, put a 1/1 counter on it, or create a 1/1 colorless servo artifact creature token. Basically, and this is a great idea, when it enters the battlefield, you get to choose. If you need a counter to make that guy stronger, you can do it. If instead you'd rather have a 1/1 token, you can do that. So you get to decide what you want. I'm going to guess that they're going to go with the token. And yes, they did. So now I have extra blockers, which they probably need. I got myself another island. So I've got two options here. I can put in the Inventor's Goggles, or I could play the other island, so I could put in this. This is a 2/3, and it has haste, which is nice. When it enters the battlefield, you may have it deal damage to target creature equal to the number of artifacts you control. I like that, but I also would really enjoy killing off that 0/3. I could put this in instead. Let's see. Let's play the Inventor's Goggles. So that goes in. I know how equipment works. Thanks, game. So I can go ahead and equip that. It's going to cost 2. And I have to decide who gets it. Equipped creatures are going to get +1/+2. The other thing I could do is I could wait, because if an Artificer enters the battlefield under the control, it gets the goggles. So if I could play this guy next turn, it would just automatically get the goggles, but I'm not using that mana. So I might as well just use the mana now, and then I could play the Highland Lake. That seems like the correct course of action. So someone's going to get crewed in order to use this, and it's probably going to be... this guy. That seems to make the most sense. Yeah. Let's do, let's give this... maybe to the Thopter, honestly. Because then it's up in the air. And it's doing stuff. Yeah, I'm gonna give it to the Thopter just because it's flying. That seems good. Now that I've done that, it makes the most sense to play Highland Lake. Alright, and we can go ahead and crew. So I will do that. It's flying, so they'll make my guy flying as well. So I'm going to crew here. So that gives me another creature. I think I'm getting the hang of the vehicles. It is a little difficult to wrap your mind around, because then you have to consider... several things, actually. You have to consider, like, is the individual creatures that you're using to crew, are they more powerful on their own? And that's kind of hard to think about. So he took out the servo relatively easily. Nothing happens there. And I do 2 damage to your face. It's 20-11. And it's not looking good for you, but I really love the aggressive nature. It's really nice to be playing with red again. I like to play with fire. I'm a bit of a pyromancer. Here we go, nothing. But you are playing something nice, Visionary Augmenter. A 2/1 with Fabricate 2, so same concept. They can either add 2 1/1 counters, or they can create 2 tokens. I'm guessing they're going to go with the tokens. Okay, so now they have 4 creatures. They technically have more creatures than I do right now. Alright, Bonded Construct, but I'm pretty sure... Let's see, didn't we have something... Which one is it? One of you. Is it you? Yeah, artifact creatures you control have haste. So this guy would be able to attack immediately as long as he doesn't attack alone, and that's pretty cool. And the cool thing is I can actually play all my cards, which is, you know, really fun. So let's go ahead and... damage equal to target creature... Okay, if we put this in, we'll be able to do 4 damage. Not that we need to do 4 damage, but we could. We'll put the Bonded Construct in. Yeah. I now control 4 artifacts. Then we'll play the Reclusive Artificer. And when we do that, we can do 4 damage to anything we want. And unfortunately can't be a player, otherwise I'd probably do it to his face. Let's take out the 0/3. That seems correct. Do you want to attach Inventor's Goggles to this creature? Oh yeah, I can do that. What does that do again? That gives me plus something? +1/+2? No, I kind of like having it in the air, to be honest. I think I'll keep this guy the way he is. Okay, that kills that thing off. We're still in main, so we're going to go ahead and crew. And we're going to crew with our weak guy again. Yeah. Yeah, well, actually... No, I'm actually going to crew this thing. That actually makes more sense, because the 1-3 can kill off stuff and can't get killed himself. But the 2-1 will get killed. I don't want anyone to die if they don't have to. Let's do that. Perfect. Alright, so we're good here. We're going to move into the attack step. God, this feels good. Look at all this. And this is happening a lot faster. See, Eldritch Moon was fun, but it was control. And you got to do all this stuff, you just had to take your time to do it. And I'm swinging a lot faster, moving a lot faster, and that's more my style for Magic. Oh, wow. Death and destruction shall befall you. So you only got one guy left. You're at 6 life. I haven't been hit yet. But you got an entire handful of stuff. 5 cards right now. You can swing for 2. Obviously not going to swing. Fairgrounds Trumpeter, a 2/2 elephant. At the beginning of each end step, if a 1/1 counter was placed on a permanent under your control this turn, put a 1/1 counter, it's over. If that's all you have, it is over. Alright, let's see what we got. We got a Welding Sparks. Deals X damage to target creature where X is 3 plus the number of artifacts you control. Oh my lord. So we can do 7 damage for 3. That is awesome. And I'll do it. 7 damage to you. There we go. Fan-freaking-tastic. Alright, so now I'm going to go ahead and crew. Same concept. It's a 2/1, so I'm going to crew this guy so he can't die. And then I'm going to swing for everything. He can only block 1. I'm not doing the math right now, but I'm pretty sure I win the game. Attack with all. Confirm attack. Oh, that's nice. That's really nice. So you can block there, and you're going to take... What is that, 7? Looks like 7. Unless you got something with flash, it's not going to help you now. -1. Or -1, rather. The store's unavailable. It's okay. We'll keep playing offline. You have to give me all my points and stuff later. That was invigorating. That was truly invigorating. I'm really excited. Oh, I don't even get to see the end? What? Oh my god, I can't even, like, do the next thing. Oh. Well, that's stupid. Alright, so much to my dismay, I did in fact have to play this again. But I won again. Although it wasn't as beautiful a victory as the one that was shown on screen. Okay, so let's see if we can actually get our ending story. Here we go. The fair attracts a huge audience, but Liliana catches sight of a cloaked figure skulking through the grounds. Immediately recognizing him, Liliana is sure he's connected to the threat Dovin Bond spoke of. She quickly alerts Chandra and returns to secure backup. Chandra initiates pursuit. My girl Chandra! Oh man, I'm excited. Okay, so that was a little unusual, but I waited a while. The server came back on, and then I replayed that level, and now we're back. And that'll teach me never to record an episode if we're not connected in some way to the server. That's it for today. Thank you so much for watching. Next week, we take on the Blue Man group, who is oozing placenta out of their necks. At least that seems... Or, oh, they're the creatures from Avatar, I guess. I guess we'll learn more soon. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next week for more Stephen Plays Friday Night Magic.